Are you looking for a horse that rides like a rocking chair? Hi, I'm Connie Alexander. Believe it or not, the Tennessee walking horse offers just such a ride. A beautiful horse, a comfortable gait, and a calm disposition make the Tennessee walking horse irresistible. The Tennessee walking horse has been called the gentleman of the equines. This beautiful breed is the result of the composite breeding of many different bloodlines. Although the walker is now a distinct breed of its own, you do not have to look too far into the past to find thoroughbreds, Morgans, saddlebreds, standardbreds, and even the Narragansett Pacer. Even though the Narragansett Pacer is now extinct, it predates all American breeds and can be found in the bloodline of all pacing horses in America. The Tennessee Walking Horse Foundation sire was an American standardbred trotter named Black Allen. He was born in Kentucky in 1886 and was a small black stallion bred to be a trotting racer. Black Allen did not meet the expectations placed on him. He was not the great trotter he was bred to be. Black Allen did not want to trot, he wanted to pace. And luckily for the Tennessee Walking Horse, he did it very well. When the stallion was 23 years old, he was purchased by Albert Dement, a Tennessee farmer. His smooth pace was ideal for plantation owners who wanted a smooth-gaited horse that was comfortable to ride around their huge farms. Black Allen was bred to 111 mares the last year of his life, and the Tennessee Walking Horse was born. The walker performs three distinct gaits: the flat-foot walk, the running walk, and the canter. These three gaits have made this breed famous in the equine world. The flat walk is a four-cornered gait with each of the horse's feet hitting the ground separately at regular intervals. This allows the horses to glide over the tracks left by the front foot with its hind foot. This action is known as overstride and is unique to the walking horse breed. Also unique to the breed is the rhythmic nodding of its head. A Tennessee walker has a distinctive head motion. It will nod its head in rhythm to the cadence of his feet. Some will even click their teeth while moving forward. The most desirable gait is the running walk. The running walk is a 4-beat lateral gait that can move the horse smoothly over ground, covering 10 to 20 miles per hour. The third and final gait is a canter, which is a collected gallop with spring and rhythm, minus the jar and jolt. It creates a rolling motion, which has been described as a rocking chair. The Tennessee Walking Horse ranges in height from 14.3 to 17 hands high, a hand being 4 inches, and can weigh 900 to 1,200 pounds. This breed comes in all equine colors and patterns, including white, gray, champagne, and palomino. Their manes and tails are long and full, and the legs often have socks. They are short in the back and deep in the body. The necks are long and gracefully set on well-muscled shoulders. This breed is even-tempered and highly intelligent. This wonderful breed is known for its affectionate nature and gentle disposition. These characteristics make it an ideal companion for both young and old. This breed has versatility as well as personality. The walker can be shown under Western or English tack. Not interested in showing? No problem. This breed shows expertise in pleasure riding, versatility events, ranch work, and field trials. The Tennessee Walker requires no special equipment or tack. Even though they are often shown with elevated pads nailed to their hooves, these are not necessary to produce the beautiful natural gait these horses are born with. It is often quoted, "Ride one today and you will own one tomorrow." Beauty, versatility, and a rocking chair ride, all under one saddle. The world-famous Tennessee Walking Horse. Suzanne Jernigan raises Tennessee Walkers in Middle Tennessee. She talked with us about some of the things that make this breed so desirable.
The Tennessee Walking Horse was originally bred by Tennessee farmers that wanted a horse that they could use to work during the day and also use to pull the buggy or ride to town when they had a meeting to go to or needed to go to town. They wanted a horse that could work all day and then still stamina was very important. Plus they wanted a horse that would ride smoothly. The Tennessee walking horse has a unique 4-beat gait that's very smooth to ride. They call it the glide ride. If you've ever ridden it, you'll love it. It's very smooth. It's great for trail riding. You can ride it all day and it doesn't wear you out. They also have a wonderful rocking chair canter, which rocks you back and forth gently in the saddle like you're in a rocking chair. The Tennessee walking horse comes in a wide variety of colors. I think they come in every color you can imagine. Grays, buckskins, palominos. They've identified a gene that's different from the buckskin and palomino gene that's called champagne, that dilutes the color, which is similar to a palomino and a buckskin. There's also spotted patterns, the Sabino pattern with roaning and the Tobiano pattern, which looks like a pinto spotted horse. Just every color you can imagine. Of course, blacks, bays, chestnuts are predominant.
I understand that the Tennessee Walker is a good horse for someone who has perhaps had a back injury.
Yes, the Tennessee walking horse has a smooth gait, and I've had a back injury myself, and I don't think I'd ever want to ride a trotting horse again, but it is good for people that have back problems because the gait is so smooth. The Tennessee walking horse has a wonderful disposition. It's good for a person that is maybe new to horses and really doesn't know a lot. They're just real easy to get along with. Basically, they're a quiet horse and they don't get too excited about anything. The Tennessee walking horse can be used for anything you use any other horse for. They're wonderful trail horses because of their smooth gait. They're used in stock competitions. They're even used in dressage and hunting. Anything you can do with any horse, you can do with the Tennessee walking horse also.
The goal of every equine pregnancy is a successful birth and a healthy baby. To increase the odds that a pregnancy will result in success, it's important that a broodmare be in good shape while the baby develops. Dr. Johnson discusses health care for a pregnant mare. At what age can you breed a mare? Well, that question is really dependent upon the health of the mare. We want the mare to be finished with her growth and fully mature before we start to breed her. And so a healthy mare, maybe around 2 years old, one that's lagging a little bit behind or maybe a slow doer, we might wait till she's about 3 years old before we start. What is the oldest that a mare should be when you have her bred for a foal? Okay, that again is dependent upon the health of the mare. If it's a very healthy mare, she could go into her 20s, maybe even 30, and still have a healthy foal. If it's not a healthy mare, maybe chronic problems like laminitis, prone to colic, other problems like that, then she might not be, it might be a little bit too much stress for her to have a baby. But I have seen mares be well into their late 20s and maybe even 30 and still have a healthy foal and raise it successfully. What time of year is a good time of year to breed? Well, that's dependent upon when you'd like for your foal to hit the ground. A lot of people like for their foals to be born in the spring. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, but you will have to breed your mare sometime between the spring and the early fall, because during the winter months, the mares usually don't cycle. Once the days start to shorten, their cycles start to slow down, and then during the deep winter months, they're dormant. Once a mare is bred, are there any special veterinary care concerns that you need to address while she's pregnant? Well, the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that she is pregnant. And we usually do that by manual palpation. We feel for the fetus just with our hands. But now other ways of doing that is the ultrasound method. There are also a few blood tests on the market that can be used in order to tell if a mare is truly pregnant or not. And we can usually do most of those methods somewhere between 30 to 60 days, and we can tell if there is a baby there. Once we decide that there is a baby there, we want to go ahead with the normal worming schedule. We don't want to vary from that at all. We also want to go ahead and vaccinate for the rhinopneumonitis virus, which is a herpes virus, at the stages of 5, 7, and 9 months of the gestational cycle. We also want to repalpate or recheck the mare somewhere around 5 to 6 months along, just to make sure that that baby's still there and he's still healthy.
What should a mare be fed during her pregnancy?
Well, in the first part of the pregnancy, she can go on about her normal routine, and you can feed her like you normally would. But as the pregnancy progresses, we need to increase that nutritional level. The latter part of the pregnancy, we need to put her on some sort of feed, like a mare and foal formula, something that's formulated just for her gestational needs, because she's going to be putting a lot of her energy to creating that foal, and then she's got to produce milk for it as well. So she needs a higher nutritional plane. In some areas, there's a problem with hay and grass fescue toxicosis. In our area, we have a big problem with that, and so we have to take those mares off that fescue pasture about 2 months before they're ready to foal. And because the fescue toxicosis will sometimes cause a thickened placenta, which will cause the baby not to be able to come out of the placenta when it's born. Also, another big problem is it'll cause the mare not to have enough milk. And so we want to make sure that she has enough milk to raise that baby. So we want to avoid any type of fescue toxicosis. If we suspect that there's going to be a problem with that, then there are some things on the market that we can use, we can give her to help produce more milk.
What's the most important thing I can do when I find out that my mare is pregnant?
Well, for any successful breeding program, the most important thing is to be in close concert with your veterinarian. Talk to them about any issues that may be unique to your area, anything you need to watch out for, anything you may need help with. Talk with your vet. They'll give you any tips that they know to make sure that you get a healthy foal on the ground.
Dressage is one of the oldest forms of riding in the world and dates back to a period of more than 2,000 years. The object of this classical form of riding is the harmonious development of physical ability and perfect understanding between horse and rider. Dressage is a difficult, technical, and very disciplined form of riding. It takes years to develop the horse to the highest level of dressage. The ancient Greeks were the first to use dressage in preparation for war. The Greek commander and horse trainer Xenophon wrote about training horses for war. The title of his book was Hippike, translated horsemanship, and is still in print today. Xenophon believed that a horse under saddle should be ridden so that he displays himself as brilliantly as he would in freedom. Training horses in the art of dressage wasn't practiced during the Dark and Middle Ages. The Europeans rode larger, heavier, cold-blooded horses in battle. The swift, hot-blooded charger did not reappear as a war horse until the advent of firearms. In the late 1500s, a military institution known as the Spanish Riding School was developed in Vienna, Austria. The school was closed to the public, and only a privileged few were allowed to witness the performances of the horses trained there. The dressage maneuvers these horses performed were the same maneuvers used during battle. The cabriole, a great leap into the air, was effective for either escape or kicking off the heads of the infantry soldiers. The pirouette was necessary to wheel away from or towards the enemy. The courbette, which allows a horse to tower high in the air, was effective in scattering foot soldiers. Flying lead changes were necessary to keep horse and rider mobile on the battlefield. The Spanish Riding School at Vienna uses only one breed of horse, the Lipizzan. This breed of horse is born black and then turns white as it matures. The riding school and the famous Austrian Lipizzaners were nearly lost during World War II. U.S. General George Patton, an accomplished horseman, brought the horses out of occupied communist territory, thus saving the school and the horses from possible extinction. They continue to perform the classical art of dressage today at the riding school in Vienna, with a notable exception. The school is now open to the public. Groups of riders and lipizzans tour the world, performing the beautiful maneuvers that have made these horses loved throughout the world. In the past, dressage was closed to anyone except the military. Now it is an open sport for both professional and amateur riders. There are numerous levels of dressage, and each level has its own set of tests that the rider and horses must perform. The horse and rider are expected to appear to function as one unit, and the movements should flow without effort. Watching well-executed dressage is like watching a dance. It should look as if the horse is doing everything on his own. Growing in popularity in today's dressage arenas is the musical freestyle competition. The tests are set to music, and the horse and rider truly appear to be dancing. From its earliest beginnings in ancient Greece to modern-day competition, the art of dressage continues to provide a glimpse into the perfection that can occur between horse and rider. Many of today's top equestrians began their involvement with horses in the United States Pony Club. The mission of the United States Pony Club is to provide a program for youth which teaches riding, mounted sports, and the care of horses and ponies, thereby developing responsibility, moral judgment, leadership, and self-confidence. Catherine Vaughn began her involvement with the United States Pony Club at a very young age. She is now an instructor and a judge at Pony Club competitions.
The United States Pony Club is a great organization that was started basically to bring children and to make them competent horse people. It's for children. You start at age 6 and it goes to age 21, and it teaches them everything from care of the pony to care of your tack, on and off your horse, riding skills, all those kind of things. So you do not have to ride a pony to be involved in the United States Pony Club. Horses, ponies, any kind of horses, any kind of ponies are allowed. It's for everybody. What we're doing here is what's called rally training camp, and the United States Pony Club in all the different regions has rallies, and those are competitions, and they have everything from show jumping rallies to dressage rallies to combined training, games, a whole slew of different categories of riding. And here we're preparing for that. We're preparing for the horse management aspect of it, and for the riding aspect of it, the tack cleaning aspect of it. It's actually a pretty in-depth period where the kids are off by themselves and work on all this stuff by themselves. They can't talk to their parents. They have a stable management helper, and they're sort of being judged on how well they do, how well they take care of their ponies, and show off their horse management skills. Any child between the age of 6 and 21 can be in Pony Club, male, female, anybody really, as long as you love horses and are willing to try and work. There's certain rules of Pony Club that you would follow at the rallies I was sort of telling you about. For instance, you would tie a twine around a post, and then you would tie your horse to that piece of twine so that if they pulled back, the twine would break away and the horse wouldn't pull the stall down or something like that. Let's see, they make sure that you wrap your horses properly when they have a wound or an injury, or when they're shipping. They make sure that when you use exercise bandages, you know how to use those properly so you don't pull a horse's tendon. Or they make sure all your tack is safe, that the stitching is up to par, that you have it on correctly. Just about every aspect of riding they go into. I would certainly recommend the United States Pony Club to anyone who wanted to learn about riding. It's a compassionate way to take care of a horse. That's what they teach, and I know that I learned a great deal. I learned how to be responsible for myself, how to take care of another animal. I thoroughly enjoyed the independence that I got when I was at rally, and you know, spending time with my teammates, doing things on my terms. No, Mom, you can't talk to me. And it was a rule, she couldn't. So, and also, you know, boys, It's a great thing to do. There's not many there's not many boys in Pony Club, so you know, 99% female. So Pony Club really sort of covers the gamut. It's about taking care of horses, but it teaches you so much more than that, really. So I would recommend it to a parent that, you know, wanted their child to learn about horses as well, about responsibility in life, you know.
Barrel racing is an exciting and important event in today's rodeo circuit. This event requires expert horsemanship, timing, the desire to win, and an extra measure of old-fashioned guts. The rider enters the ring at full speed on any number of breeds trained for the event. The quarter horse is a favorite with this event, and its ability to reach high speeds in a short amount of time make it ideally suited for barrel racing. The horse and rider pass an electronic eye, tripping a timer. As the team races around a cloverleaf pattern, the clock ticks. The horses and rider receive a 5-second penalty for every barrel that is overturned. Winning times are measured in hundredths of seconds, and the competition is fierce. This event attracts both sexes and all ages into the heat of competition. Listen to what barrel racers have to say about this popular rodeo contest.
Good afternoon, Amy. How are you doing?
Just fine, thank you.
I hear you're kind of new to this sport of barrel racing.
This is my first year.
Is this your first year? How many times have you been in the ring?
About 60.
60?
So I've been to a
Oh.
lot.
That's a lot of running in a year.
Yeah, it is.
Have you ridden for a long time prior to deciding to do the barrels?
I have, but I mostly did trail riding.
Did you?
And I did some team pinning, but never barrel racing until this year. Yeah.
Tell me, what motivates an obviously young, attractive woman to get on a horse and race it up and down a ring?
It's like the biggest adrenaline rush in the world. It really is. It's addictive.
Is it?
It's like once you do it the first time, then that's it. You're hooked.
Do you ever worry about getting hurt?
I worry about my horse getting hurt.
Do
I really
ya?
don't worry about me getting hurt. I've gotten hurt a couple of times.
Have you?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you find that there's a lot of communication between you and the horse when you're out there in the ring?
I think there's a big bond because you have to trust them to send them in an arena at full speed to make a turn. They turn
Exactly.
360 degrees wide open. You have to trust your horse to do that.
To do
so
that.
you have to have a bond
With
in order
that
to do
animal.
that. Oh yeah.
Did you train a long time with your horse before you actually got
Nope.
out there and did it?
I didn't. I rode her on a couple of trail rides and went to a show on Saturday. And that's
Took
what I
the
did.
plunge, huh?
Yep.
Well, Amy, we're looking forward to seeing you in that ring.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Have a good run.
Thank you.
Dell, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Who are you on top of here now?
Primary Red.
Primary Red. How old is Primary
He's
Red?
6.
And what are you going to be doing here today?
Barrel racing and pole bending.
You're going to do the pole bending too. How long have you been involved in this?
4 years.
4 years. Have you always ridden horses?
I've riding since I was 6 years old.
I see. There are a lot of women in barrel racing and pole bending. Why do you think that is?
It's an exciting sport.
That's what I was going to say. It's kind of exciting
It's
racing
very
down
exciting.
there.
It is.
Tell us a little bit about pole bending. A lot of people might not understand exactly what that part of the sport is. I think everybody understands barrel racing.
Well, the poles, you have 6 poles that you got to go down. You go down straight, and then you just got to weave in between them. And then when you come back around, you got to go back up through the pattern, and then you circle back, and then you come back home.
Is it a point system type of thing? The judges give you points, or
It's on speed.
it's
the
on
time.
speed? I see. Do you feel different when you're doing a run that's in a competition versus doing a run that's a practice?
Just to practice. You do. There's so much tension. I mean, you get so nervous going in when you're actually competing, and the horse can feel it.
It can feel that
They
tension.
can feel the tension too.
Well, thank you very much.
thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Good luck in the ring.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Walt, so good to meet you this
Pleased to
morning.
meet you.
How are you doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Are you
And
looking
yourself?
forward to getting in that ring?
Yes, definitely.
Tell me a little bit about what you're going to be doing here today.
I'm going to be pole bending and barrel
You
racing
do the barrel racing. How long have you been involved in this sport?
all my life.
All your life, really?
Yeah.
Do you train your horses yourself to
Yeah.
do the barrel? Are there ways that people can kind of practice this at home and keep a little safe?
Well, riding and knowing where your safety is, that's your seat belt.
Where to grab onto, huh?
Right. Just practice.
And
lots of
practice.
Ride. Yeah.
Have you competed a lot this year? Is it something that you do year round?
Yeah,
Do you?
yeah.
So you spend a lot of time on the road.
Right.
Yeah. How much time a day do you think you spend with your horses?
Well, I train, so I own 24 horses, and I
Oh.
usually keep a half a dozen
Pretty busy.
that I'm working, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Do you find that there's a difference in age, your ability to work with a horse when you're training them to do barrels?
I like to start them about 2.5 and just teach them the basics, and then come back and ride them a little harder at 3, the third year.
Yeah.
Get them going good.
By the time they're 11, they can do it in their sleep, can't they?
Yeah. You take
And you
the bridle
too, huh?
off, you can run him in the halter, he doesn't care. Right.
It's so nice to meet you. Good luck out there today.
Thank you, and
Bye-bye.
you the same.
Bobby, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I understand you're quite a rodeo rider.
I've been riding rodeo about 20 years now.
What all do you do in the rodeo?
Just the barrel racing.
You
is
do the
only thing
barrel
that
racing.
I do.
But
It's
you've
kind of
been-
a family event. My daughter runs barrels. I have a son that rides bulls.
Oh my,
And
bulls.
Dad drives us around.
Whatever made you want to ride barrels?
I've been riding since small child, 4 or 5 years old on the pony with the halter and
Right.
bareback,
Right.
and it's always been in my life, and it just come about. Started going to a few shows as a teenager and got into it and been doing it ever since. And I just love it.
Just
It
love
gets
it.
in the blood. You
Yeah.
can't stop.
How much time do you spend with your horse?
Well, of course, I'm with him every day on a daily basis.
Yeah,
But as
yeah.
far as riding and practicing, maybe a couple of times a week, and then every weekend we're going somewhere. Sometimes Friday and Saturdays. It's every weekend.
It's
for me.
every weekend
That's why
for
I
you.
live for the weekends.
All right. You're going to be competing today.
Yes.
We wish you the best.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.
Horses prefer the company of other horses. For the most part, they would not choose to be alone. People are pretty much the same. Try and make room in your life today for someone who's alone. 2 are better than 1. For if one falls down, there's a friend to help him up. As always, when you are horsing around, be safe.